Good morning, my friends. This morning we will listen to the story entitled A Strange Eagle. Gordius was a man who did not have a lot, really, of wealth. He was not wealthy. He had a small piece of land and he had 4 oxen. And that day he noticed an eagle that landed on the yoke, and then the yoke of his ox cart. And until the time came for him to get closer to the ox cart, the eagle was still there. And he said, well, that is quite unusual. I need to go to Telmessus. I'm going to go to Telmessus because in Telmessus people have that gift of divination. They're going to tell me what it means because this is unusual. So he made his way to Telmessus, and as he was going, he met a young girl who was from Telmessus, and that he opened himself to her and shared what happened to him. And that young girl told him, well, you need to go back to that setting and make a sacrifice to Zeus. And then the young lady decided to walk with Gordius. So both of them walked and they went and they made the sacrifice to Zeus. And after that they got married. And after that, of course, they had a son named Midas. Midas was born. And then there was a crisis in Phrygia. They were looking for a new king. They had to go for elections. And then they remembered there was a prophecy that stated that the one that will be the king of Phrygia will be on an ox cart. And that day, during the assembly, they were meeting. They saw an ox cart that just stopped where they were, and they looked at the ox cart. They saw the man who was there. That was Midas. Midas looked at them, and those people, of course, they remembered the prophecy. They said, "Well, that's the one who's supposed to be the king of Phrygia." So Midas became the king of Phrygia. That was so good for Midas and for his mom and dad. And then there was a legend that stated that just when he became the king of Phrygia, Midas decided to go ahead and take the ox cart to the temple of Zeus. So it was on the Acropolis. So he took it there, put the ox cart in the temple of Zeus as a way for him to thank Zeus for having allowed for the eagle to land on the ox cart, on his daddy's ox cart, of course. So after that, of course, there was a legend saying that there was a knot on the yoke, that the one who was going to untie that knot was going to rule over Asia. And then Alexander the Great, who marched in Phrygia, heard about that legend. He said, take me to that temple. I need to go see that. And Alexander the Great walked to the temple of Zeus. He walked in there. And when he entered the temple, he looked at the tie. He said, he looked at the knot. He said, okay. He was trying to see how he could really untie it, how he could really undo it. And he said, well, it's not easy. And then he just drew his sword and then he cut it. And then that was it. So Alexander the Great is the one who was able to cut they were expecting for someone to untie the Gordian knot. He did not untie it the way he did. He just cut it. And of course, he ruled over Asia. So that's the end of our story for today. Have a good day. I will see you next week.